Her name was Catherine. Ever since she was a child, numbers came naturally to her. One of her teachers once predicted that she would grow up to become a brilliant mathematician, but by the age of 30, she was still virtually unknown. There was only one reason: she was a black woman. No matter how exceptional her talent was, the best job she could get at NASA was working as a human computer. Back then, modern computers hadn't yet taken over the calculations. Nearly every figure used in space missions had to be worked out by hand, and the people carrying that burden were a team of black women. In America during the 1960s, racial segregation was still deeply rooted. Whether it was eating in restaurants, riding buses, or checking out books from a library, black Americans were forced to use separate facilities. While white employees worked in spacious offices filled with sunlight, the black women were tucked away in a cramped basement. Like invisible contributors, they quietly dedicated their brilliance to NASA's mission. Everything changed when the Soviet Union successfully sent a dog into space. For the first time, NASA felt the pressure closing in. To speed up the program, Catherine was temporarily assigned to the Space Task Group, but departments like this had never welcomed a person of color before. On her very first day, she simply poured herself a cup of coffee, yet every eye in the room immediately turned toward her. The next morning, a separate coffee pot appeared in the office. A label had been attached to it for colored, but even worse than that was the problem of finding a restroom. She wasn't allowed to use any of the bathrooms designated for white employees. Whenever nature called, she had to gather her paperwork and run across the entire campus. The nearest colored restroom was half a mile away. Every trip back and forth cost her nearly 30 minutes. By the time she returned to her desk and handed in her calculations, the numbers were often already outdated.
Obsolete.
One day, her supervisor decided to make things even harder. He blacked out critical sections of the report, yet still expected her to verify the results. Catherine pushed back, but the supervisor dismissed her concerns. "I'm only asking you to run the numbers," he said. "Don't get ahead of yourself." Catherine said nothing more. Instead, she quietly lifted the documents. Holding them up to the light, she examined them from every angle. Then suddenly, she noticed something important. Combining that clue with an equation written on the board, she quickly figured out that the entire team had been studying how capsule weight affected flight trajectories. The next moment, she pulled over a ladder, then climbed up to the board and started working through the problem herself. The calculation was barely finished before she rushed off to the restroom again. What she didn't realize was that her solution had stunned the entire department. Everyone gathered around the board. As they studied the equations and figures, they stood there speechless. Even her boss was drawn to the commotion.
I said, whose work is that?
Catherine Goebel, sir.
But what awaited Catherine wasn't praise. It was an interrogation. Her boss suspected she might be a Soviet spy. After all, how could someone without clearance solve problems involving classified NASA work? Faced with the accusation, Catherine remained composed. Step by step, she explained exactly how she had reached her conclusion. This time, it was the white engineers who were left speechless. Even her boss couldn't hide his admiration. Right there on the spot, he granted Catherine full access to the project.